5 of the Dunton Technical Centre Championship. Tonight coming from St-Croix in France, the series first visit to St-Croix A. If we have a look at the grid for tonight's race, bring up the track map. So as I say, this is the series first visit to St-Croix A. This is a long track, a 5.9 mile track, which features 21 corners. It's the first of 2 races this season that it's just a one race event tonight. In place of the normal sprint and feature, this is just a single 45-minute race around St-Croix, and this is in the Group 2 category kart. So again, new one for this year. The guys raced in those last year. This is the first time they've done a 45-minute race in the Group 2s here. So the grid for tonight's race is, whilst the format is, the category is different, and the format is different in terms of 45 minutes, the usual rules apply. So there was a 20-minute qualifying session, and as per the normal standard rules, the drivers had to qualify on a different compound of tyres that they're going to start on, and also the 3 fastest in qualifying go to the back in reverse order. So if we look at the grid, if I go back to where we look, so 4th fastest in qualifying, therefore on pole for the start of the race, is Matt Psycho, who's joining the series for one of his cameo events. Then we've got Mike Ross in the Honda. He's second on the grid, so he was 5th in qualifying. He's second on the grid. Then we've got Snooze Alex in his Nissan GTR. He's third, starting third. And why am I not seeing? Let's get rid of that. Should have done that, and we've come out, so we have to reload it. Okay, slight technical problems here. So third on the grid was Alex in his Nissan GTR. I'll just wait for this to reload, because that wasn't working properly. So this is a new format, but they still have to abide by the usual rules that the 2 tyre compounds have to be used. So they're free to choose any compound they like, but they must use 2 different compounds during the race, and they must start on a different compound to those that they set their fastest lap in qualifying. So we'll just wait for the race to start. So here we go. So it's a rolling grid start as per usual. Then we've got Matt on pole, followed by the bright pink Nissan of Honda of Mike in second. So as we say, it is a rolling start, and we'll just wait for the start to roll off, and Matt will lead them away. And here they go. So just weaving a little bit to get some heat into the tyres, and they'll get the countdown as per usual. Lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 reds, and away we go. So Matt leads them away down into the first turn. So it's a quick, fairly sweeping right-hander. So I can't imagine anyone's going to be doing overtaking moves into here, but we'll see where we go. So into the first corner, Matt leads the way, keep them neat and tidy. We got Mike right behind him. Mike's got a really good start in the Honda. Those Hondas do warm their tyres up quickly, so we'll see what happens as they go into the kink and then into the first braking point on the left-hander. And it looks like Matt's gone a little bit deep. Mike's gone into the lead, so Mike takes the lead. First corner, Matt, I think he's on the soft, same as Mike, but obviously maybe the Lexus doesn't warm his tyres up quite as quickly, so Mike's taking the lead. So we've got Matt following him. Then we've got Alex still in third, Jimmy in fourth, Chris Lewis in fifth, Harry in sixth. It looks like Chris Pengelly, who was on pole, or got the fastest in qualifying, he's already gained a place up on Dan. So Dan's dropped down to 8th from, I think he was 4th or 5th on the grid. So we go back up the front, and we got Mike and Matt in battle now. So it looks like Mike's got a little bit wide. Matt looks like he's gone down the inside. Then there's Tao, and it looks like, yeah, Matt's got the lead now. So we go on board with Mike. He's still right behind. Here we go, so on board with Mike as we go through halfway through the first lap, and it's very, very quick right-hander. He looks like he's going to get into the toe. He's got a decent run as they come down the main straight. It's right in Matt's slipstreams. Go on board with Matt on his rear camera. He goes by, he's going to take a look onto the inside, outside. This is the really, really fast chicane though. It's going to be hard to pass there, and so no. So we go through this very quick left-right. Is he going to have a go into the hairpin? He's going to make a move around the outside. Some of the he's trying to go around the outside, but no, Matt's got him. So a bit of power oversteer from the pair of them. Is Mike going to have a look down the inside as they come into this tight left-hander, leads them over the bridge? No. And then we've got some action going on behind. We've got a three-way into the left-hander onto the bridge, so three wide as they go across the bridge. So we've got Jimmy, Chris, and the two Chrissies fighting tooth and nail as they come across the bridge. Let's get rid of that camera because that's a rubbish camera. As we go, is there going to be action into this tricky chicane? Very easy to cut the corner there, no. So line the sterns, they go through that. Jimmy leading from Chris Pengelly, the championship leader, and then we've got Chris Lewis behind us. So Chris Pengelly's a good start. He was 8th on the grid, he's already made his way up to 5th, so a good start from Chris. Chris Lewis as well, he's made a few places up. Actually no, he started 6th, I think. So, but we've got, what's happened to Harry? Harry has gone all the way back to the back, so let's have a look, see what happened to Harry. This is the power of the pen, we can, there we go. So it is really tricky right-hander. So he just got it a little bit wide coming out, just touched the grass and onto the curbing, and away he goes onto the gravel. A big spin. So Harry drops down to the back. So go back to the front now. Oh, right. So this is the replay of Matt and Mike battling out for the lead into the hairpin, slowest corner on the track. Nice bit of oversteer for the pair of them. Right, so right past this, because we've seen all that. So back live, got Matt in the lead, followed by Mike, Skittles Honda. Then we've got Alex following, and then we've got Jimmy, Chris and Chris in a train. Are we going to see any passing here? This is hard to pass this bit. Watch Jimmy now into this. A lot of these corners on St Croix, they're all quite similar, but they're all sort of 3rd, 4th gear sweepers, so they're quite hard to pass on. But once you get the cars with the top, it's a great track to drive, but it can be a little bit hard to pass. Looks like Chris is going to make a move. Nissan's got some serious grunt. Yeah, let's go on board. I don't think he's got the pace to try and overtake into the first corner. Let's have a look. And then, yeah, not quite. And then if we move forward, it looks like we've got a battle going on here as well between Alex and Mike. So Alex is hanging on nicely to Mike. So we've got him moving on the back here. No, not yet. Let's have a look. Chris Lewis a little bit off now behind the battling Jimmy and Chris for 4th. We've got a bit of a gap behind, so if we go Chris is 6th, then we've got Danny 7th, and the recovering Harry, who's gone purple, but everyone goes purple on the first lap. So if we go back to the front, I think we got Matt's pulled out a little bit of a lead now. Yeah, Matt's on started on the softs, qualified the supers. And then we've got Mike also on the softs. And we've got Alex as well. So Jimmy's got Chris all over the back of him. Since they're going car with Chris, looking for a way past. You can just see, oh, he's going to go down the inside. Oh, is he going to try and do it? No, not quite. So we go looking from the rear of Jimmy's car. He's got Chris right behind him. He's giving a bit of a push. Oh, Chris has gone wide. Chris has gone wide. Oh, nearly losing it. That was so close. So Chris got the same as what Harry did. Just got a little bit wide coming out of that very tricky corner. Nearly lost it. So Chris has put himself back now, back into 6th. Oh, and that looks like Alex made a mistake as well. So Jimmy's got up to 3rd, and a huge dive there from Alex. Let's watch that from that was. Let's just see what happened there. So we're watching Alex in front of us. Let's just see what happens from on board with Jimmy. So Alex is going through there, gets a bit of a wiggle on there. So yeah, he lost the back end going into there. And if we then watch on board from Alex, he takes a massive lunge, but he makes it stick. A great move. So these two are having a right old battle here. Though we got 3 abreast again. So we got Jimmy, we got Alex, and we got Chris Lewis, sorry, all getting involved. And then we've got, I think with Chris Lewis, we've got both Chris's, Jimmy and Alex, all coming across the bridge together. Let's have a look here. We've got 3 abreast going into the chicane. Is this going to end in tears? We've got Chris Lewis is down the inside, up to 3rd. Alex is hanging into 4th somehow. And then you've got Jimmy and Chris Pengelly as well. So look at this: the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th all together. And as we go now towards the end of the lap, we've got Jimmy who's in 4th. We've got Alex right behind him in 5th. They got Chris Pengelly looking to go make a move in 6th. Alex is making a dive down the inside, and he's hit Jimmy, and Jimmy's gone off. So Alex trying another late lunge down the inside of Jimmy for the 2nd time in about 4 corners, and he's gone off and he's hit Jimmy into the wall, and he's not waiting as well. And it looks like, he's let Chris Pengelly through as well. So Chris Pengelly has gone from 5th to 3rd in as many corners. Let's have a replay of that. So we watch that again. There's a bit of let's watch that from in car. So we're in car with Alex, right on Jimmy's tail. Chris Lewis just up in front of us a bit. So Jimmy brakes and Alex, like he was trying to avoid him, and just dived down the inside, and it just takes Jimmy off. So this is going to be one for the stewards. And then if we watch what happened here, it's like Chris Pengelly gets a decent run, and just Alex doesn't fight him. So we go back and watch that now from Chris's perspective. There we go. So we're watching Chris Pengelly. So Alex is looking down the inside. Chris moves over, and Alex just comes across and just takes a chunk out of Jimmy's door and off into the wall. So I think that could be one for the stewards. So we'll see what they say, if there's any ruling on that during the race. So up to 4th goes Chris from the back. So come out of the car now. He's got Alex right behind. Is Alex going to make a move again? Is he going to take that Nissan? He's quick down the straight. The pair of Nissans are good, but no, he defers to his team leader. So we now go back up front. So Matt's got getting a bit of a nice lead now. He's done the fastest lap on the 2nd lap, 46.9. He's on by 200ths the quickest lap now. He's on his softs. Fuel's just over a quarter gone. The softs looking like they're pretty good at the moment. So Mike is in 2nd. Fuel looks a bit better. Actually, no, it looks similar to Matt's. I think it's slightly worse, but his tyres look in pretty good shape. So then we've got Chris Lewis, who's now trying to chase Mike down. These arrivals in the championship. Chris Lewis is in 2nd place at the moment. Quite a way behind Chris Pengelly now. He's on 164 points to Chris Pengelly's 198. But he's only 24 against Mike, and this is because it's a single round tonight. This is a double point scoring round, effectively. It's the same number of points they get for the sprint and feature races. So a lot of points up for grab in a single race, being double length. You also get double the amount of points for fastest lap. So whilst Mike is 24 behind, he could easily take a big chunk out of that. So Chris Pengelly then, so he's up to 4th now, championship leader. What can he do in the Nissan? Can he close down Chris Lewis and get on terms with Matt's up front? He's probably, we don't get times on these replays, but he's probably 54, 47. Yeah, he's probably 8. He's probably 12, 13 seconds behind the leader, I would imagine. So we'll see if he can make that up. So we've got Alex in 5th now, and he's been caught by the recovering Harry. Harry's obviously got past Jimmy and Dan. He obviously got past Jimmy with help from Alex, but he's having a good look now. Is he going to try and go around the outside? This is a very difficult corner to try and pass, but I think he's going to try and go around the outside. Can he make it stick into the corner where Alex had his little shunt with Jimmy? We go on board with Harry now. He's got a good run as we come out of the penultimate corner. Is he going to make a move into the last corner? Let's have a look. He's right in the toe. He's moving to the outside. Is he going to go around the outside? It's going to be difficult. He's got him. He's got him around the outside. Great move. Let's have a look at that from the outside. There we go. Watch him from the outside. Makes a move. Goes to the left. See if he can go around the outside. Here he goes. And around the outside, sweeps around the outside. Great move there from Harry. So Harry's now up to 5th. What can he do from there? So we look back at the front. Matt's sticking the 46s in. He's done a 46.6 now. That compares with Mike's 48.2. So Matt's got a good second half advantage on Mike. Chris is doing a 47.6. So he's a little quicker than Chris, and then you've got Chris Pengelly, who's just done the fastest lap of the race, 46 dead. Looking like he's going to make a move around the outside of Chris Lewis, the 1 and 2 in the championship. Looks like he's going to make a move down the inside. Yeah, he's got him. Nice move there from Chris. So up to 3rd. He's got Chris Lewis right behind him. Is Chris going to make a move into the left hand? I don't think he will. Chris cuts him across. Go from look back from Chris Pengelly's car. He's got Chris Lewis in a really nice position in the toe, but unfortunately this is a quite tight, twisty section of the track. So Chris will try and Lewis will try and keep this tidy through here, but Chris Pengelly is very quick through this section, despite it being the section he almost went off. Been the whole race, he's quick through that corner, so it looks like he's shaken off Chris Lewis. We now watch from Chris's car, and again this is another pit that Chris is very quick at, but he gets a bit of a wobble on as he goes through the left of the fast chicane, but I think he's now going to pull away by the looks of it. So let's have a look further down the field. So we've got the recovering Harry, we've got Alex still behind him, and then Dan in his Jurassic Park Lexus, and then we've got Jimmy at the back. Not sure if Jimmy has some problems. He's 57, so I don't think he's had any specific problems. I expect Jimmy to get a bit quicker as we go through the race. So back up the front, so we're on lap 4 now, so a pretty breathless start of the race. Matt's leading from Mike, but he's got the 2 Chris's hunting him down. A little look at their tyres. So we've got Mike's on the softs, just under half a tank. So Chris is wearing his tyres a little bit, but the fuel's good. I think that Nissan's pretty good pretty solid on its fuel. Then we got Chris Lewis in the Nissan as well. He's even better on fuel actually. So this could be an interesting strategy from Chris Lewis. He looks like he's saving a bit of fuel, so that'll leave. He might be thinking of doing a 1-stop. I think 2-stop is probably the way to go around here. But you might be thinking of doing a 1-stop. Might be doing a bit of fuel saving, or even if it's not, it'll certainly mean his fuel stop will be quicker than the guys in front of him. So this is going to be interesting what strategy he's running. If you're looking at Harry, he's in a Lexus like Matt up front. He's got about half a tank left as well. Similar to Alex in the Nissan. Then we've got Dan and Jimmy. Jimmy's front's beginning to go a little bit. Looking alright. So back up front with Matt. Pretty solid lead now, I think. Looks like he's pulling away. His tyres starting to go a little bit now. Into the low 47s. And we've missed a change position there. Let's go back. So let's see what happened there. So you've got Chris following Mike. Let's see what happened to Mike. And what happened there? He just went wide coming out of the left-hander. It looks like Chris just got a run on him, and Chris just sweeps past. So a little bit of an error there, Mike, and Chris is up into 2nd. So unfortunate there for Mike, but now he's allowed Chris up to 2nd. So Chris is now got a clear run to Matt. Let's see what Chris can do now. He's the fastest driver in the series. He's got the fastest lap already. Let's see if he can start closing that gap on Matt up front. So now we've got Mike in down to 3rd, and he's been chased down by Chris Lewis. But if you look at the times, interesting enough, Chris has done a 47.6, which is a bit quicker than Mike's 48.2. But his last lap was a 49 dead, so whether that's the tyre starting to go off, or whether he's gone into fuel saving mode. As we said, his fuel is a lot better than Mike's. Mike's got probably about a third of the tank left, and if we go to Chris has got half the tank left, so Chris could be playing the long game here, and he's slowly closing Mike down. We're going to the tricky downhill chicane, left and right. It's very hard to get right, and as you can see there, it's there's a bit of an off camber as well as you come out of it. If you're wide into the left-hander, there's a wall that comes to slap you in the face if you get it wrong. So it's quite a tricky corner, that, especially as the tyres start to go. You can see Chris Lewis is now beginning to close up on Mike. He's getting quite close. Let's go on board with Chris. There we go. Getting closer, and definitely a bit of fuel saving going on, I think. Definitely a bit of fuel saving. It was a bit of a lift there. He's got a good run coming out here though, so he's trying to go on the grass. Is he going to get past Mike? I think he has. Let's have a look from Mike. There he goes. Or a bit of leaning. Mike's trying to put him off one leaning line as he goes into the first corner. But Chris is through, but Mike's trying to come back around the outside. That's going to be tough to get around there. But he's still in chance here. Is he going to have a go into the tight right-hander as we get through this kink? Is he close enough? He's looking. No, but Chris shuts the door. And I think Mike gets a bit of a tank slapper just to celebrate not getting past. So is Chris going to pull away? I think probably so. If we have a look at these tyres, yeah, they're similar. They're very similar. We've missed Matt Psycho in all the excitement. Matt Psycho stopped. So Matt's pulled the trigger down the fourth. So he's obviously decided to do a shorter first stint of 5 laps on the softs, and he's now gone on the super softs. So that's probably locking Matt into a 2-stop. And he's decided he's going to get rid of those softs quite early, and then try and go on the shorter sprints on the super softs and take advantage of the lower fuel on the sticker tyre. So interesting strategy here. That's different from everyone else. So Chris Pengelly is now going to the lead, followed by second in the championship and his major rival Chris Lewis, who's just saw gone past Mike. Mike's up to third, and then we got Matt now. Matt will charge and doing a bit of naughty cross the grass cutting as well, but Matt's going to be on the charge now. Fresh tyres, 3/4 of a tank of fuel. I expect him to home in on Mike pretty quickly. And then we got Harry, who's doing a really good job of recovering, so he's banging in the 47s, whereas Mike obviously had that off on the previous lap, but Chris is 48s and 49s. So Harry is, of the non-stoppers, is the quicker of this trio, and then you've got Chris Pengelly, who's in the low 47s or 46s. So he's flying away at the front. So it'll be interesting to see what his pace is like relative to Matt. So I would imagine Matt's going to get a good undercut here. He will probably pull away, but it means he'll be on the more warm tyres later in the race. So interesting strategy split between the two. Let's see if Chris is going to come in at all on this lap. Is he going to come at end of lap 6? Yes, he does. Right, so Chris is in. Will he put any fuel in? I would imagine he will. Let's have a look for what tyres he can go on. This is going to be interesting. So Matt went on the super softs. What is Chris going to go on? Waiting for the fuel to go in. A decent slug of fuel, and Harry's coming in as well. So Harry's in behind. So Chris has gone on, stayed on the softs. Okay, so he hasn't switched. Harry goes back out. He's on the softs as well, so interesting. So, and we've got a battle up the front for third and second. So Matt's having a look at Mike. Is he going to get him? I have a bit of a touch as they go through the first corner. And Matt's trying to slick in down the inside, and Mike's gone off on the kit inside. I don't think they touched. I think that's probably just a consequence of Mike's cold tyres. So Matt's up into second. And Mike's down the third. If we look obviously the difference in tyres, Mike's tyres are in far worse shape than Matt's. So Matt will be, I think Matt will be pretty pleased with that. That he managed to clear Mike on his fresh tyres fairly quickly, because that's pretty key in in trying to make use of this strategy of, as you can see there, he did a 46.8 on his out lap, so that included coming out the pit, so that was just as quick as any of his regular laps. So he needs to make the use of these super fresh super softs whilst he can, to keep himself out of range of Chris Pengelly. So up front then we've got Chris Lewis. It'll be interesting to see what he's going to do. He's still got roughly a third of a tank of fuel left, so he's still got plenty of fuel, but his tyres are starting to look pretty worn. And we've obviously got Matt who's homing in on him. He's got his fresh tyres on. Mike's fuel light's blinking, so he will be in this lap. And then we've got Chris, who's just made his stop. Fresh softs on, and he'll be coming back as well. Then we've got Harry, who's mirrored Chris's strategy, so went to lap 6 and then put softs back on as well. And if we can look down the field, so we've got Alex. He's a little bit disconnected now from the front 5. And then we've got Jimmy, cracking looking Lexus. He's now ahead of Dan. Dan's had his stop. I think Dan's had his stop. Well, although he had a spin. Maybe he had a spin. So back up front again. Chris Lewis. I think this is probably the key lap. I think if he doesn't come in this lap, actually no, I think Chris is going to be on the. I think if he doesn't come in this lap, I think he's definitely on the 1 stop. It wouldn't make any sense to do 8 laps and then split the remaining 11 into 2. So he's done a 29.2, and Matt's done a 49.2, and Matt's done a 47.5. So maybe not as quick as Matt would probably like, but that was probably because he was held up a little bit with Mike. But Mike's in now, so Mike has come in, getting rid of those softs. What is he going to go on to? I assume he's going to stay on a. This could be a 1 stop. I imagine this is probably a 2. So he's gone on the super softs, so I imagine he's probably going to go for 2 fairly short blasts on the super softs. So if we come up back at the front, it looks like Chris is being caught, as we would expect, by Matt. He's probably a couple of seconds a lap slower than Matt. So is he going to hold off Matt? I think this is a battle for the net lead though, because I think Chris is going to be 1 stop in, so this is a battle for the lead. Matt's getting really close now as we go on board. Chasing Chris down as we go into this right-hander, that then sets us up for this very quick right-hand onto the main back straight. It's got a few kinks in it, but it's pretty much straight. I guess a good exit over that bump that can destabilise the car. So here we go. So we're watching now, Matt, he's getting into the tow. And Lexus is pulling the other Lexus along, and here he goes down the inside, and I think he's gone through. We can see Matt go through as he comes around the outside. Oh, there he goes, and we missed it. Apologies for the camera work there. Let's watch that again. So Matt's getting into the tow. Here we go. So he's going to flick out, get the inside for the chicane. Easily done. Easily done. Make sure he doesn't take too much of a bite at the curb. So Matt's through. So again, he probably didn't get held up too much there, which will be good for him. So he can continue to make the most of those tyres. So you can see Chris there. Chris is getting in range now, so Chris can see the pair of them. You can see the 2 leaders. So that is a battle for net lead, because it looks like Chris Lewis is playing the long game. His tyres are getting pretty knackered though, but he's obviously going to try and stretch us out. And he's done well on the fuel to get this far. So he's 8 laps in. So it's just under halfway. And if he doesn't stop here, then he's going to be over halfway on the 1 tank. So that's pretty good effort to get the fuel that far. And that brings him into play. So Matt's got to stop again. And so is Chris Pengelly, and he's ahead of Chris Pengelly. So he's a net second on the road. It all depends really on whether he can eke out that fuel, but still be quick enough. Eke out the tyres, but still be quick enough to hold off the 2 stopping Chris behind him, and also try and hang on to Matt. And here he goes. So Chris is in. So he'll If he goes on to super softs, we know he's one stopping. Every driver needs to use 2 compounds of tyres. There is no definition of what those compounds are, so you can use medium and hard if you want. But he's got to use 2 different compounds, so let's see what he's going on to. He's gone to the mediums, right, so that confirms it. He's definitely doing a one stop, and he's going to try and take those mediums to the end. Now the problem with the mediums is they're not the quickest tyre. On a normal length track they're probably around a second a lap or so slower than softs or super softs. On a track this long, let's say it's just under 6 miles long, you're probably talking 1.5 to 2 seconds maybe, so he's got to try and stay as close as he can to the guys in front and hope that he doesn't lose too much time on the medium, so that they effectively can stop again and either be in front of him, oh sorry, Chris is in front of them, or be close enough that when their tyres start to wear again that his mediums might have a little bit more life in them and be able to catch them up. But it's going to be tough from there, I think, to keep in front of the 2 stoppers in front of him, but we never know. But he's so he's only just in front of Mike, and then we've got Harry. Harry's moved up to 3rd now, so basically all 3 of the top 3, they're all on 2 stops, and they've all jumped Chris Lewis, who's on a 1 stop. So Matt, Chris and Harry are 2 stopping, so they need to build a gap to be able to come out in front of Chris Lewis, or to have enough inherent speed advantage that if they're behind him they can pass him. So Chris Lewis has got to keep his tyres in decent shape, save a bit of fuel, but try and maintain the gap to the guys in front. So if we go back to the front, we've got Matt, who's been leading most of this race so far, apart from when he came to the pits. He's on his fastest lap. He's done a 46.9 on his last lap. Again, that was passing Chris, but that probably wouldn't have held him back too much. But so let's see what he can do on this lap. Tyres are starting to wear a little bit. Then we've got Chris Pengelly, who did a 45.1, which is the fastest lap so far by quite a long way. So Chris on his softs, he's really flying. So Matt does a 46.0, which is his fastest, but then Chris does a 44.5. So Chris is taking a second and a half out of Matt already. Now obviously Matt's on his super soft, but they do start to wear a bit quicker, so Chris on his soft, but that may be the better strategy. They're not maybe initially as quick, but he's done 2 45s and a 44, and Matt's done 47 and 2 46s, so Chris is coming at Matt pretty quickly here. 10 laps, they're on lap 10, so just over halfway, so there's a long way to go yet, and I would estimate that the gap between them is probably, let me see if we can get a decent reference point. I would say gap between them is very difficult on this track to get a decent reference point. Let's get out of this next corner. So they come through there, so that's 33. I reckon the gap is probably no more than about 3 or 4 seconds. So Chris is definitely coming back at him, and at this sort of rate he will get him within about 2 laps, I would say. So how long is Matt going to go on this set of tyres? He came in the end of lap 5, so this is his 5th lap on this set of super softs, and obviously they wear quicker than softs, but he's got less fuel. So I would imagine he's going to split this evenly, so this is going to be 2 6-lap stints, whereas Chris came in on lap 6, put the softs on, so he might stretch this to another 6 on the softs, which will leave him 5 laps on the super softs with less fuel. So this is going to be interesting. I think this last stint is going to be close. Then we got Harry. He's a little bit further behind now. He's made a good comeback though. He's done 46.9, so he's in the 46s like Matt. But he's that's a cracking comeback from where he was. And then we got Chris Lewis, who's now got Mike behind him. So Chris has been caught by Mike quite quickly as well. So Chris is doing 49s. Mike's just done his fastest at 47.6. So 2.5 seconds gap between them in the last lap time. So Mike's coming at Chris really quickly, which you would kind of expect. Chris is on the mediums. Mike's on the super sticky super softs with a lot less fuel as well. So yeah, Mike's got a big speed advantage here. So and Mike needs this. Mike needs to get past Chris. I'm just going to check the points. So there's 24 points between them. And the difference in points for 4th and 5th is only 3 points. But nevertheless, he still wants to get him. So Harry's in. In comes Harry for his second stop. So that was quite a short stint. That's interesting. That was a very short stint. So he's decided to get rid of those softs pretty quickly and go on to the softs again. Okay, that's I'll have to double check that. I'm not sure whether he started on the softs and whether he's done this is his 3rd soft, or whether he's a super soft. Okay, we'll have to check that one out. So Chris is still holding off Mike, flashing his lights, probably just to let him know I'm behind you, please make a mistake. Mike's flapping quickly though. He's done this he's very consistent here, and he's on the even quicker one here. So he's done 2 mid-47s. Chris is speeded up a bit. He obviously made a mistake on lap 9, but he's done a 48.1. Mike's still 6 tenths quicker, and that's pretty quick. You've got Chris Pangelian, who's done a 45.5, and Matt, who's done a 45.9. So Matt looks like he's keeping his tyres alive. So there was only 4 tenths between them that one. So previous lap, Chris really put in a blast of a lap and closed the second half. He only took 4 tenths out of Matt in that last lap, and I think as a consequence he's taken a bit more edge off his tyres. You can see, yeah, he's 1.7 down on his fastest now. So I think he loved the early grip. A little cut there from Chris. He loved the early grip, and now he's beginning to suffer a bit. Matt hasn't taken relatively too much out of his tyres, but as you can see, it's starting to wear now, and his fuel light is flashing. So this will be Matt coming in for a stop at the end of this lap. I imagine he's going to be put on another set of super softs for 6 laps to the end. So that means that Chris is not going to stop. He's got, I imagine, at least 1 more lap in that. So his tyres are looking fresher. He's got a bit more fuel, so that means he can have a quicker stop and a shorter stint on the super soft. So Chris now takes the lead. Matt's fueling up for his last stint. There we go. You can see the fuel going in. So I imagine this is going to be another sprint on the super softs. I think he's quite a long way. Yeah. So these two are quite a long way ahead of Mike. So this is key. This is the key lap from Matt. He wasn't that far ahead of Chris. Now imagine he's going to get the extra pace of the super softs, but he wasn't far ahead, and Chris has got a bit of a pace advantage. So it all comes down to can his outlap be quick enough to keep the lead. So we'll keep an eye as Matt goes round. So Chris is going round to the 46.4. So he's dropped a second per lap in the last 2 laps. So obviously his tyres begin to feel it. So he's 4 tenths slower in the second sector, so we'll see what he can do. So can he get this in lap to be quick enough that when he comes out the pits, he's made the jump on Matt. Let's have a look. We won't get sector times yet because he's on his out lap. So there we've got Mike Ross, who is ahead of Chris. So looks like he made the pass. That could have been quite a long way to go. Let's have a look to see if we can see when that happened. We do like to watch the replays, so there we go. So let's watch this. So Chris is in front of Mike. Have to go back a bit, but let's see the replay of how Chris got passed by Mike. Coming down the long back straight. We'll go in car with Mike. Here we go. watching Chris in front of us. Getting a bit of a toe, but we won't be able to get through here. He's too far behind. We go into the quick chicane. Chris has got a bit leery. Mike's looking down the inside. There he goes. Nice move from Chris. Unfortunately for Mike. So unfortunately the way the camera works, he flicked back to the wrong person. So let's watch Chris again. So gets a little bit sideways coming through there. Then Mike's on his tail, and Mike just goes down the inside into the hairpin. Lovely move from Mike. Very nice. Round we go. It's a little bit wide, but just keeps it in shape. So Chris in the medium, so Mike's still got plenty of life left in his super softs. Chris has hardly touched his mediums, but he's doing 48s, 49s, whereas Mike's doing 47. So nice move then from Mike. So back to Matt. Trying to push on his outlap. Chris trying to push on his inlap. Fuel lights flashing. Is he going to do enough? Then we've got Mike, who's got into a nice third against Chris, and then Harry, who's on this interesting strategy. He's now stopped for another set of softs. They've got Jimmy's coming now as well. Jimmy from 7th, ahead of Dan. Non-stop. Changed his pretty knackered soft to super soft, and then we got Dan who's come out just behind him. So a race on here for 7th. He's not that far behind Dan, Jimmy. So watching now Chris comes across the bridge. He's 1.5 down, so you can see he's starting to his tyres are starting to lose that initial bite they had. As we go through the we'll go on board. There we go to the left-hander, right-hander. Trying to avoid tyre scrub as much as you can, so keep it inside, but trying to avoid that tyre slip. Left-hander, flick it in, over the curb, on the powers and come out of it. Right, here we go. So key pit stop, coming into the last corner. Has he done enough to get the jump on Matt? Matt will be flying on his fresh super softs, but he's going to have a 1 lap extra fuel and 1 lap extra tyre. So here we go. Chris is going to put the super softs on. He has to. He's used softs twice so far. Nothing left in the tank, but he only has to put 5 laps in. And here comes Matt Psycho. So Matt's coming round the last corner. Here we go. So as Matt comes round, Chris is not rolling yet. Is Matt going to make the jump as Chris comes out of the pits? Here goes Chris. And Matt has gone past him. So Matt has gone back into the lead. And I can hear the groans from Chris's car from here. So Matt managed to maintain his lead, but Chris is quite a bit slower. Mike's coming as well. So Mike's getting rid of those super softs, and he's going to do a 5 lap stint as well. So he'll put 5 laps on the fuel and have a decent run on those super softs. So we've got Chris in front of Harry, but up front, so Matt has got the jump. Matt did a 46.0 on his outlap, which was similar to no, so 8 tenths quicker than his previous outlap. Chris is pushing hard. So Matt found 8 tenths on his outlap, and that's managed to get him into the lead. So a straight fight between these two. We don't often see it. These two great rivals. We don't often see them going toe to toe. Usually something conspires that one of them is in a different position to the other. Whilst we see the Snooze is in the pits, we'll have a quick look at Snooze. Alex filling up. Is gorgeous looking Nissan. He was on the mediums, interestingly enough. So I assume he's going to go on the. He probably started on those, so we didn't really take much of a look at that. So he's on the softs. I'll get him to the end. And then we've got Jimmy in 7th, and Dan chasing him in 8th. Not sure who he's signalling to. Must be some message to the pits. So we got right. So at the front. Got Matt and Chris, super close now. So Matt's got the super softs on, the same as Chris. Difference is Matt's got a little bit more fuel actually, interesting enough. But Chris has got a pace advantage and he's got the softer tyres. So let's go on board with Chris. watching the back of the Wacos blue Lexus Mag, getting very close to the Armco there. Such a tricky corner, but you've got to be precise and get on the power as early as you can. They're chasing Matt down. Don't think there's anywhere we can go here into the penultimate corner. A little bit of a break, it's pretty quick. Coming out here, he's in the toe. That Nissan's quick down the straight. He's got another grunt, getting closer and closer. We're not going to have a go here, surely. There's nowhere to go. Oh, I get so close. Right, last corner, keeping it tidy. It looks like he's getting the toe now. We're going to pick up a great slipstream. You see Matt's sort of looking down the inside. Matt covers off the inside. And let's go to the outside here, and it looks like Chris is going to take a move around the outside as he goes into the first corner, and Chris is trying to go around the outside. It looks like they come out side by side. Chris, a great move, a little bit of training play there. Chris has done it. Fantastic move around the outside there. Is Matt going to take a look down the inside as we come into the left hand? He makes a little bit of a move, but no, he can't quite make it stick. Didn't quite have the run there. Chris is through. Chris is through, but he's gone a little bit wide there. He's gone a little bit wide. That gives Matt a little bit of a run. As we come round this left-hander, Matt's going to make a move down the outside, but surely he can't go around the outside of Chris there. So fantastic scrap between these two. Can Matt stick on him? Can he stay in the toe? If he can stay in the toe for this the long back straight, he might have a chance, but it looks like Chris has got a bit of a gap now. But it's a long way to go yet, so it's only lap 14, so there's another 4 laps to go yet. Can Chris pull out enough? I say he's got an inherent pace advantage. He did a 45.3 in the last lap, but fantastic racing between these two. So we'll go back. I think we'll watch that. That's worthy of another watch, that one. So as we come out the last corner, here we go. So penultimate corner. Chris gets a really nice toe as he go down this straight to the final turn. Well, I thought he was going to have to take a look there, but he didn't. But he comes out of the last corner, gets a nice drive. So as we come down, he's in the toe mat, starting to move him down towards the pit lane. Pit wall. Chris thinks better of it, but then he looks like he takes a nice move around the outside. There we go. Watch it go around again. He gets the grip and just drives around the outside. Fantastic move. A bit of paintwork. And if we go on board with Matt now, you can see how close he was. He was looking to make a move down the inside here, but Chris shuts the door, doesn't give any opportunity, and away he goes. So you can see they got a little bit wide there, got a little bit excited, and Matt had a bit of a run here, and I think if this had been a long straight at left hand from this left-hander, he would have been through, but Chris managed to cover the right-hander. Lucky for him, it was alright coming up, and then that was job done. So some fantastic racing between these two. Go out board now. Can Matt do anything about it? I say Chris has got the pace advantage. I'll be surprised if Matt can come back. Chris is faster, and he's got less fuel, and he's got better tyres. But it's still 3.5 laps to go, and they're so tight. You see Matt's pushing as well. You see he's just flicking up the grass there as he comes out the hairpin. But it's still, things could happen yet. So we've got a look at Dan. Dan's in the pits, getting rid of those softs. What is he going to go on to? Who knows? Let's have a look. He's gone on to the super softs. Makes sense. Half tank. Let's see what he can do from there. He's a little bit remote now from Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy's gone off though as we flick to him. Is he going to hold it? Yes, he does. So Jimmy's fuel to the end. Then we've got Alex. Alex is on softs, new softs, so he's just come in. As we saw, he's fuel to the end. Mike and Chris Lewis. So actually, we've got a change of position here as well. So there's been so much going on. Let's replay this, see what happened there. Oh, right. So Chris was in third. He was trying to make these mediums go to the end, which was always going to be a bit of a tough ask. And let's see what happened. So he flicks it into the first corner, hits the apex. Oh, it just touches the grass then. Boom, man, what a great spin. Holt catches it beautifully, but he just lost enough momentum. We got Chris defends the inside. It looks like it's a great battle between these two, and then Chris gets it on the way out. fantastic racing between these two. We look at the bumper cam. Let's go back and watch that one. So here we go. We're going to get dizzy as we go through this first corner. I think it's probably worth watching it from the inside though. Watch this spectacular save of the season so far. There he goes, round he goes. Boom, gets it straight, back on the power. Only went down to 75 mile an hour. Impressive save there from second in the championship. You can see in our mirrors, so he defends the inside, and Harry decides, right, you go down the inside, I'm going to try going around the outside. Doesn't make it work, and then gets to switch back, and there we go, through he goes. Great scrapping between these two. I think he's going to struggle to hang on to him now. His mediums are starting to wear, and then Harry's got better shaped tyres that are softer. So I expect Harry to pull away. So Harry's done a 46.8, so he's on a bit of a charge on his fastest lap. Back at the front, so Matt's done a 45.8, so Matt's doing his fastest lap. Chris has done a 45.3, so Chris has got that early pace advantage. He already did a 44.5, which is 1.3 seconds quicker than anyone else, but he's not shaking back. So this is interesting. You know, there's only about a second or so between them. He's not getting rid of Matt as much as I thought he would. It's coming up to 2.5 laps to go, and this is tight. So, despite I think Chris might be pacing himself a little bit, you see Matt is really pushing there. So let's go on board with Matt as we chase Chris down. I don't think he's got. I think Chris is maybe just looking after his tyres as we go across the bridge. It's great to see these two having a proper race, try and close each other down. Goes his tyre, such a tricky little complex that just clips the curb, it doesn't unsettle the car. We now go through this flat out multiple apex right hander. Just touches 165.3 before we brake for this bit of corner cut in there, but yeah, Chris is not getting away. You know, one little slip from Chris, and Matt's going to be on him. Matt's going to be past, so Chris can't relax here. This is, I thought when Chris got past that he would pull away from Matt, but Matt's hanging on. He's probably a second and a half, 2 seconds between them here. So Matt did a 46.9. Chris was a bit quicker there. Chris was nearly a second quicker there. It's not translated. They're close, these two, they're close. So let's have a look back. Looks like Harry did a 46.8 in the previous lap. He slowed down a bit that lap, 40.87. He's pulling away from Chris. Chris is, yeah, with his epic spin. But I think, yeah, he's going to struggle to keep hold of a gap with Harry. And we got Mike. So can Mike do anything about Chris? So he's doing 47. So he's if he can, probably Chris is probably sufficiently far enough ahead. So 30 there when he got to there. So about 6 seconds behind. So that's doable. If Mike can sort of pull 2-3 seconds a lap on him, that would be close. We've got Alex sitting in 6th, a bit of a lonely race for him, and Jimmy in 7th. I think he's probably got a bit closer to Alex. Let's have a look. So he did a 51.2, which was his first fastest lap so far. Alex did a 50.9, so and then a 50.4. So I think, let's see what Jimmy does. I think Alex has probably got the pace advantage on. Yeah. So I think Alex looks like he's got the advantage there. So I think probably the main battle is can Mike do enough about Chris. We go to the front, so these two are still close. They're still very, very close. And it's surprising how close these two are still. I mean, it looks like Chris is slowly edging away. He's not using too much curb there. It's close enough that a little mistake and Matt will be there, as I said. But if you look at the tyres, so the fuel, Matt's bit better on fuel. Chris's tyres are looking better, so I think this will take a bit of a major mistake from Chris, which I think it's fairly unlikely to happen with Chris. He's won enough races, he knows how to win. But nevertheless, it's close and it's going down to the wire, so good. This has been a great scrap between these two. So he's doing 45 flat. We've got a 46.5 for Matt, so he's got a second half advantage. So yeah, I think he's pulling away. So yeah, barring any major mistakes from Chris. And we've got Harry, who's not shaking Chris Lewis off. Actually, this is Chris. If Harry made a mistake on that lap, let's have a look. Yeah, he did a 50.7, so 4 seconds slower than his fastest. And Chris actually took a second off of there, so I imagine Harry probably made a mistake. His tyres are in pretty good shape. But yeah, these two are close. This is not a foregone conclusion here for the final battle for the podium. And obviously, you know, these two are rivals in the championship as well. So we look at the point scoring. So Chris Pengelly is got a bit of a lead now. He's on 198 compared to Chris Lewis of 164. Then Mike Ross was 140 and Harry's on 116. And that is predominantly because Harry had a DNF. He didn't finish a race, so he lost a good chunk of points. So it's not inconceivable that Harry can still make it up to second. So you know, this is still important for Chris. He needs to try and get back on the podium with his alternative strategy, and he's definitely. Let's start watching Chris. Yeah, he's hanging on. Yes, Harry's starting to. His tyres are starting to go, but we head down the long back straight. Harry's actually getting sufficiently worried that he's starting to weave a bit. Either that or he's texting. So we go through the chicane. Very tricky to get the turning right, but we are closing here. We go into the really lay on the brakes into the hairpin. Wow, big oversteer from the pair of them, so they're both really pushing to get the power down. The tyres are starting to go. Harry's gone a little bit wide. He's gone very wide, and that Armco comes at you horribly quickly if you get wide through there. And that's a proper engine breaker if you hit that barrier. So I thought Harry, once he got past, would waltz away from Chris, but no, this is tight. Go, so let's watch from. There we go, watching from the back of Harry's car now. We head down the hill to this fast left-hander. Yeah, both struggling to hit those apexes now. The tyres are really starting to go. What can Chris do? Interesting. So up at the front now, Chris is on to his last lap. Got a bit of a gap there, yeah, you can clearly see that he's doing a 45.3. Matt's still pushing, done a 46.0. So Matt, even though he's you know, on to the 5th lap of his 6 lap stint, he's only 2/10 off his quickest. So Matt is still finding some pace, but Chris is 7/10 quicker and got tyres in much better shape. So Chris, I think he's on his way. So Matt in second, and then we've got Harry, as we've been looking. He still cannot shake Chris off. Harry is, I think he's not fuel saving, so he's done 250s, so he's consistent. Chris, he's hanging on to him. Chris is a second a lap faster. This is going to go down the wide. Chris is going a little bit wide. Oh, don't be there, Chris. Don't get there. Don't go wide. They're both pushing. You see, they're both flicking the grass up, and then Mike's coming at them. Mike's done a 47.3, so Mike is just done his fastest lap, and he's on another quicker one. I think he's just left it a little bit too late. He's definitely quicker. I mean, he's 2.5 seconds faster than the guys in front. And he's been consistently quicker, so Mike's strategy is paying off now. I think he's probably going to need another lap, and he might be there, but. Then we've got Alex, who's fair way off now. So we've got the last three are all pretty spread up. There's Jimmy in 7th and Dan in 8th. So it's a chicane for the last time. Chris, he's probably about 4 seconds, 5 seconds or so ahead of Matt. Lights flashing fuel, but I think that'll be fine. Then we've got Matt in 2nd, giving Chris a good run for his money this time. Chris started from the back and had a bit of drama in the first few laps, and Matt made him come to him, didn't make any mistakes, but looks like Chris has got it. So if we look then at the back, 3rd, 4th and 5th, they're getting close. Looks like Harry's got enough. Chris is going to be so close to Harry, and then you've got Mike catching them up as well. So if we go across the line to Chris, there we go, great win from Chris. And yet another win for him in the feature races. And a really good second for Matt. He kept Chris on his toes all the way through. So we're pleased with that. So here we go. So we're looking at the battle for 3. And unfortunately, due to a technical fault, we didn't actually see the last 3 cross the line. So we will stop probably about... So it looks like Chris is going to... Harry 4th, Chris 5th and Mike 6th. So they're so close. Did I catch that in time? No, I didn't. What we will do, we will restart it so we can go to the results. So a cracking race there from the guys. Their first experience around St. Croix A in the Group 2s. So we had Chris Pengelly there, a really strong drive. He started from the back because he was on pole. And he had a few little dramas to start with to come through the pack, but once he got through, he closed Matt down, and then we had a cracking scrap in the last stint. Went around the outside of the first corner, and then pulled away. But Matt certainly kept him honest. Let's see if we can fast forward this. So Matt kept him honest. There we've seen a recap of the starting grid. Matt kept him honest there for a really good second, so I think he'd probably be pleased with that. We'll skip through this and we'll get to the end. So a really good race there from Matt. Here we go. That's what you get with technical problems. A very, very quick summary from Matt's perspective. Keep flicking through. Get to the last. So you can see Matt took the lead. And as we go through to lap 12, Chris stunted him down. And Chris went round the other side, a cracking move, one of the best moves we've seen in the season. And I'll get RSI as I go through this. Final lap. We'll pause it there. And we'll go to the live timing because the position changed. So, yeah, great win from Chris. Came from the back. Won by about 5 seconds at the end. Then we had Matt, gave him a good run for his money. Harry, a really good recovery into 3rd. Had a bit of pressure there for Chris at the end. He just held him off, but a great recovery from lap 2 drama. Went back to the back of the pack, so he came through a great 3rd. Chris, a really good attempt on a one-stop strategy. Tried something different. So he finished a great 4th. Almost came back at Harry at the end, but a good 4th from him. Mike, he had the pace. He was leading there he had a couple of stints in the lead. Was really coming back. That 3rd, 4th place battle. It just probably ran out of laps. One more lap, I think he would have had 3rd, but a good comeback from him. Then Alex. The stewards actually deemed him at fault for that last crash he had with Jimmy that put Jimmy into the wall, and because Alex didn't actually wait after the incident, he was actually docked 15 seconds by the stewards to his total race time, but he was more than 15 seconds ahead of Jimmy, so he actually remained in 6th. But so yeah, no change there. And then Jimmy 7th and Dan following up in 8th. So, and the fastest lap was Chris, quite a dominant fastest lap. So a cracking round 5. Hope you enjoyed that. So the next round will be in just over a week's time. It'll be next Thursday, where we're heading to. We'll be back to the usual format of sprint race in the Group twos, group fours, sorry, and then the group threes, and that will be at Dragon Trail. So yet another new track for the guys to get grips off. So thank you for joining, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in just over a week's time for a live stream. We'll be doing this one live this time at Dragon's Trail in the group fours and the group threes. So see you next time. That was round 5 from the DTCC, and we'll see you again.